Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And did you know that Professor Charles Francis Xavier first appeared in the X-Men #1 in September of 1963?
When was... Oh no, I just forgot his name. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. What year was he born?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure before that.
Patrick Stewart. Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I blinked on his name all of a sudden.
I'm sure well before then.
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, he's 80. Is it 84? I think I remember last year.
So 1940 something?
Yeah. Well, no.
42-ish.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. Don't ask me to do math quickly.
Well, Disneyland's going to be 71 this year, if that helps.
No.
So that puts
math
him in the
is
40s.
Scary.
Yes. Probably early 40s. I don't know. Chris might know. We'll find out.
Can
What
someone
should
with
people
access
do,
to the
Katie?
internet? First of all, if you have access to the internet, please look up 1940. Oh boy. So
Okay,
he's
there you go.
going to be 86.
There we go.
this
Well,
year.
that makes sense because I think it was the last season of Picard or something for 84.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
Yeah.
that they did that real time. Anywho.
No, they didn't. I just know they were talking about his age.
Oh, I was like, oh, okay, weird. And then after you look up weird facts about Sir Patrick Stewart on the internet, you should also go into the comments where we are here. You should subscribe to our YouTube channel because if you haven't done that, you are missing out. There's 100,000 people that have done that. So that's super weird of you. And also go to Daps HQ, patreon.com/Daps Magic. There's a post show to this show, and I've got a weird feeling about tonight. I think it's gonna get weirder than this show.
Okay. You never know.
This is starting off weird already.
There
so,
you go. All right. Well, to make it even weirder, it's time to talk about the Muppets.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mr. Daps. Thank you, Mr. Daps. Thanks, man.
This last week, right after the last show, because that's how it always seems to go, the Muppet Show teaser finally was released, and we finally got a look at what the Muppet Show special event, was what they're calling it, will be like on February 4th when it arrives on Disney Plus and also on ABC, which I'm curious because they haven't said what time ABC yet.
It's true.
I'm like, wouldn't you think they'd be like, 8, 7 Central or whatever? But maybe I've missed that. I just don't think so. Anyway, we got our first look at what this new Muppet Show is going to look like. And I will admit I was impressed. But before I get into my thoughts, what did you think?
First of all, I would once again like to reiterate, but on a even bigger platform, that they are doing this for our anniversary. So everybody else, not real Muppet heads, but it's for us. Anyway, don't make that face.
I want to know about
Don't
the show.
make that face.
Go.
I was telling you my thoughts.
Yes.
Anywho, I think Sabrina Carpenter is actually the perfect pick for this. Not because she's my #1 celebrity or whatever. I think she understands the campiness that comes with the Muppets. As Emma Stone does with that interview she did today. But it's you need to understand the campiness of the Muppets. You need to understand that Muppets are their own entities, and you can also play with them in a way that's really fun. I love that she's doing the throwing of the Muppets. Absolutely insane. The scene where Sabrina Carpenter is backstage talking to Miss Piggy, that feels so
Perfection.
Original Muppet Show. It's insane. I literally was like, if this wasn't Sabrina Carpenter, if you picked a different celebrity, I might be like, is this just found footage that we remastered? It feels right. And that's the thing I'm the most excited for is, in my opinion, we have not seen anything like this that has just felt so Henson Muppets. And this feels Henson Muppet. And that's really exciting.
And part of me wonders if that's the Seth Rogen influence, because he kind of is a Muppet. You look at him just being what he does. He understands comedic timing. He understands be yourself, because that's where the best comes. And I think if you have writers that understand the characters really well, as opposed to trying to make gimmicks, that's when the Muppets work the best, because then they can just be themselves and run with it.
I also think the best people to take on the second or third generation of Muppets are people that grew up loving the Muppets. Because you understand what the magic is, and you understand how did this make me feel? And Seth Rogen in my opinion, and if you had gone to me 10 years ago and said I would be saying this, I would have laughed in your face. Seth Rogen is a creative genius, specifically in the producing format. Like producing, writing, directing, anything like that. I think he's a creative genius. I think he's got this really interesting knack for storytelling. So also that bit with him and Fozzie, incredible. Mm-hmm. Like everything felt like Miss Piggy's doing her bit and Gonzo's
Here's
doing
my
his
question
bit.
though.
And
So, Beauregard,
yes,
what's he doing?
don't know.
Why is he hitting the electric? Like, why?
I don't know because he shouldn't be doing
not
that.
one I would assume would sabotage a show,
I would assume it would have been New Zealand
or I don't know,
or
like
Gonzo does something
or a villain that they didn't normally have really in the Muppet. Like that was the one part I was like, huh, wonder what's going on there.
It's Olivia Rodrigo.
Who knows?
That's beef you don't understand. It's okay.
That's fine, but that was the one thing I was like, I'm curious about that. I think it looks funny. They're going to have Gonzo do some sort of a stunt, it looks like. And I assume Fozzie will do what Fozzie does and all of that jazz. I like that the people in it are being real as opposed to gimmicky. Like I think it's why the Muppet Christmas Carol works so well is they're not trying to, they're being themselves, but they're not trying to be something they're not, and they're not trying to go for the cheap laughs unless it is Fozzie. But I think it'll be very fun to see how this plays out. I do think it's no longer a backdoor pilot, though. I think it's a front door pilot. Because Kermit flat out says it's where the show started, it's where the end is, where it started again, and hopefully it keeps going or something.
Depending on how this goes or something.
Depending on how this goes. And I was like, all right, that's funny. You're flat out acknowledging how this all works, which kind of is reminiscent of Muppets Most Wanted. We're doing a sequel. But I hope they got the right writers in place that it really does feel natural. I mean, it can be goofy and silly and zany and all of that stuff, totally fine, as long as it feels authentic. Then people are gonna love it, and I think that's when the Muppets do the best. And we'll see. Like, there's some of the Muppet performers who are on the executive producer list, so that could be a very good thing. And there's crossover between that and Sesame Street, and to me right now, Sesame Street, those Muppets have had stronger what do you call videos,
like their Forks Out.
Yeah, their parody stuff and their comedy stuff, I think, has been stronger in recent years than the Disney Muppets. So it'll be interesting to see if they can carry that on and really hit a home run with this. I do think this teaser raises the bar a bit. Mm-hmm. The first teaser was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But yeah, like the Not Too Late Show. Like, they've done a lot of really great stuff over at Sesame Street.
The Not Too Late Show with Elmo was so good.
And hopefully this will be too. Like, maybe this will be the new turnaround. And then my question is, if this becomes a full-on pilot instead of a back door or front door or whatever it is, how many... Is it going to be like you get 4 episodes for a season or 10 episodes? Like 10 is kind of the new,
I would guess
streaming. 6 could be, yeah.
Because 6 is like the limited series run when you're doing like a 45-minute to an hour or whatever.
Yeah, it could be. Mm-hmm. I would honestly love them to do more, because I think when you're on a time crunch and a budget crunch, you do better things. I think the pressure works really well, but we'll see. It'll be fun to see. All right, we are going to play a game now called This or That. That's right. It's time for This or That, where you get to choose this or that, Katie, and tell us why, and then I will do the same. For the first question, sticking with the Muppets, a Gonzo segment in the Muppet Show that we're going to see next month, or a Fozzie Bear segment. So, like, they get the stage to themselves for a minute and a half. Mm-hmm.
Fozzie Bear.
And why? Like, you can't just give the...
Come on. Yeah, I can, first of all. I think Fozzie Bear is so fun. I do think he's funny. whether intentionally or not.
Would it be a joke segment, or would it be like Dancing Bear?
It'd be Good Grief the Comedian's a Bear.
Okay.
Like not exactly
But
Good Grief
some
the
sort of
Comedian's a Bear, but
okay.
yes. Yeah, I think Fozzie Bear. I think he's very funny. And for good measure, Statler and Waldorf can be there with me watching.
They would have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't get some solid heckling in this show, they might as well just go home.
Doing it for the halibut.
Yeah, who knows? I'm going to go with Gonzo.
Okay.
Mainly because I don't think you can ever have too many crazy tricks from Gonzo. Stunts, I guess, is a better word. As I'm saying this, I think of, I think it was 12 years ago today, Clocky was saying that Billy Hill and the Hillbillies played their last performance at Disneyland. And so as I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking of their old gimmick that they used to do when they were in the Golden Horseshoe, where they would do a huge song that built up to a rubber chicken being launched across the stage. Mm-hmm. I feel like Gonzo could do something like that.
So could Fozzie.
Fozzie could too. So maybe it's both of them, but that's not the way the game plays.
Not.
I just like the idea of Gonzo doing something ridiculous again, because I think when they nail those things, those become iconic moments in the movie. Like, think of when he goes and destroys his own factory. Mm-hmm. Like, brilliant. Like, when he's crazy, that's better almost than quirky. So that's where I'm going to go with. But I do kind of like the idea of Fozzie and Gonzo each trying to do their own segment at the same time. That would actually maybe be
they get missed signals. They're like, wait, it's my turn. No, it's my turn. But the cannon's already set up.
And Fozzie shows up with Rubber Chicken and Gonzo shows up with Camilla.
Hilarity ensues.
It's all there. It writes itself.
This year on the Hallmark Channel.
That's the thing is these things really do write themselves if you know how the characters would react. Like when you know, oh, this is what would happen. Like it's just there. That's
what's really comforting to me about there being Muppet performers on the executive producing team, is because it's something that they talk about in Below the Frame a lot. Matt Vogel's podcast. Matt Vogel is the current voice of Kermit. He's currently Big Bird. All those things. He was Constantine. But they talk about how it's really hard sometimes as a Muppet performer to be directed or produced by people that don't understand.
Well, and that's an interesting thing too, is the guy who's directing this, I believe, is a Broadway director.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. And I don't know if he also directed or helped with the thing with the Magic Show. I didn't see that on the quick list I looked at, but that doesn't mean he didn't, whatever, because they do talk about that a lot of directing puppets or Muppets in this case is very different than directing people, even the way you stage the cameras and all this stuff. I do think it's a little bit easier with something like the Muppet Show because there's already a ton of reference for how to do it, as opposed to going out in public or going to do a movie. But it
also helps to have the fact that there are performers that are on the producing team, or directing team, because you know the character would do this or that.
Producing team was right.
Oh, okay, sorry. Or that doesn't feel right, or this is going to be correct. It's like not only are we setting up everything correctly, but it's like, hey, in the moment.
Well, it makes you wonder how much collaboration is in the show too, like, because that's also what makes the Muppets work really well.
We just did half the show on just the Muppets, guys.
There we go. Nothing wrong with that. I think every show should be half the show about Muppets if we had enough content coming out.
Every show, the first half is about the Muppets, the second half we just talk about,
could be Star Wars, could be Star Trek, but it's not going to be. Instead, it's going to be the Avengers Doomsday teaser with its weekly release, it appears.
Avenger of the Week.
So we had Steve Rogers, we had Thor, and now we have the X-Men, 3 of them.
It was like 3 of them.
This one was my favorite.
Okay.
Of the 3 so far, easily my favorite.
I'm shocked.
Well, I really liked the first X-Men movie, and I don't know that they ever quite reached that height again, but the talent in that group is incredible. The setup for this one just nailed it. Like listening to Patrick Stewart speak, awesome. And then you go from this quiet, creepy, whatever to explosions and Cyclops. Incredible also. Like, it was such a good paced teaser for how short it was. Like, there was so much in it. And
it told a story.
Yeah. Like, it really did pull, like, this one pulled me in more than the other ones. The other ones, I was intrigued. Like, I really love the piano music, or, oh, that's cute, or, like, and the other ones probably got me thinking more about what is the bigger multiverse impact happening in this moment. But this one, yes, James Marsden was in this one, and he was there. But this one I think was my favorite so far, and it is doing a good job of progressively making this movie more intriguing.
Mm-hmm. I will say, what I thought was super interesting is that we got this X-Men trailer right after Star Trek. I can't think of her name. On Anderson and Andy Cooper on New Year's Eve.
Oh, Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah, when she went, oh, and I'm doing this, and you looked at me and you were like, is that known? I went, I don't know, but clearly she could say it on TV. Mm-hmm. And then this X-Men trailer came out, and I was hoping she was going to be in it. Alas, she was not. I think it's fun. I will say, sorry about this one, folks. I've never seen any of the X-Men films.
We have time. I think they're all on Disney Plus now too.
Well, I've seen 0 of them.
There we go.
I have no knowledge. My favorite was we just watched the trailer, and just imagine in your mind's eye, Daps going and looking at me, like turns and goes, and I turn and I go, because I don't know.
I just thought she'd like the actors, to be honest. But
well, yeah. And then I went, isn't that guy Gandalf? And he went, yes. And I went, okay. I was making sure I had the right actors.
So now it's time again for this or that.
Okay.
What are you more looking forward to with Doomsday? The X-Men or Fantastic Four? And why?
X-Men because of Sir Patrick Stewart. Even if he's not in it a ton.
Okay.
That's my whole reasoning.
I'm going to say X-Men because I'm more personally invested in that storyline and those characters than I am the Fantastic Four, which may ruffle some feathers, but they're fine. Like, I feel like the X-Men have had a more steady, I don't know, like they've been more consistent in many regards, even with bad movies. Like, I'm like, oh, that's Professor X. That's Magneto. That's, like, I know who the characters are, and they basically stayed the same for a while. Yes, they've played with it, but I would choose X-Men. All right, let's go to Disneyland. On Thursday, there will be pink milk in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland.
Do we have a flavor profile?
No.
Of course.
So all you have to say is, what do you think of pink milk? And then we will get into this or that.
One, I don't think it's pink. So I'll start with that.
It's more of a peach color to me.
It's like peachy, raspberry-ish color. It's not pink, in my opinion.
The real problem is we don't know what color it actually is until we see it in person, because so much can be done with light and manipulation of photos, and who knows.
Correct.
Yeah.
My other thing, where in Star Wars is pink milk canon? Because I don't know of pink milk in Star Wars canon.
Maybe it's in The Mandalorian and Grogu in...
Oh, yeah, that might be it. But because it's like blue milk, obviously blue milk. Green milk we got in The Last Jedi. I was like, pink? Huh? I will say not super hyped about it, because in my head, blue milk was supposed to taste one way. Like, I was like, okay, baby, blue milk. And the first time I ever had it, I went, that's not what blue milk tastes like. As if, I've been to Tatooine. And
because we all thought it was going to be blue oat milk, basically.
Yeah,
like, that's kind of the flavor everybody's picking. So here's my question, because we are going to run short on time. Would you choose pink milk or green milk?
Pink. I'm sorry. I really don't like the green milk.
Okay, there you go. And that's a great answer. I'm going to go with green milk just because I would rather go with what I know.
Sure.
Than I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know how sweet the pink milk is going to be. And that's kind of my concern at this point. All right. Snow has fallen at Disneyland Paris. And apparently when there we go. 2023 in the Santa Staros comics is where pink milk appeared. Thank you, Chris.
The more you know.
I have not read those. Snow fell at Disneyland Paris. That did not stop anything from happening. They still had parades, apparently. I just saw on Instagram a few minutes ago. We're going to skip straight to the question, though, because we all know snow at a Disney park is one of the best things you could ever see. Which resort would you choose to see snow in? Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disney Resort.
I might surprise you with this. Disneyland Paris.
Okay, why?
For sure. It's this magical, like, to me, the castle is beautiful. Rolling hills, like the trees, everything about it. It's that storybook, whatever. I'm like, give me Disneyland Paris in the snow.
Over like Fantasy Springs or seeing Agrabah or Arabian whatever in or Indy's Plain.
Yeah.
I mean, the trick for me is if it was Disneyland versus Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
Easily Paris.
Yeah.
Because, Tokyo Disneyland is
but if you put
beautiful, but
Studios Paris versus Disney Sea.
Well, Disney Adventure World soon versus Disney Sea, it suddenly mixes things up a little bit.
This exact moment.
Because the pictures of World of Frozen, gorgeous, which is where I'm like, oh, World of Frozen, like they have their little Frozen section in Fantasy Springs, so that would be kind of cool. And it would be a little bit funny to see Rapunzel singing in the snow on the top of her tower. And
what if she goes inside?
Yeah.
She goes, oh.
I do think I agree with both you and Chris that I would choose Disneyland Paris after setting up the case for the other. Just because the castle is gorgeous, the whole park is already, it's more park like, I guess. And so that makes you just want to see snow and this pristine, blanket, I guess you could say, everywhere. And now with Disney Adventure World, let's assume, because honestly, you can't even get into that part of the park yet. So once it's open next year, it's a no-brainer is yes, I'd want to go over there and see World of Frozen with real snow because, and if they really want to nail it, they bring that little Olaf guy out in the snow. Like, how awesome would that be?
That's good.
Yeah. Like, I would love to see that. So that would be my choice. All right. New menu and novelty items.
New year, new menu.
Are coming to the Disneyland Resort also in 2 days. I think it's kind of interesting because Flo's is basically getting an entire new menu. Like they got a lot of stuff with chicken and
but no
and
Coca-Cola baked beans, whatever.
But no Coca-Cola baked beans, which we would love to have back, please. Those were some of the best things in the world. But they had one thing that actually we're going to go with this question in the comments. Actually, we'll come back during comments and we'll answer that. At Flo's, they have this thing called a Big Dipper cheeseburger, which is interesting because Applebee's has almost the exact same thing, other than it's different cheese. I think they said it was cheddar and something, and I think it's American or something at Flo's. So you have the Big Dipper cheeseburger, which looks like they're kind of taking a little bit from In-N-Out flavors and mixing apparently with this Applebee's concept, or they came up with the same idea at the same time. I don't know. But they cut the burger in half and shove it in
a pool of cheese.
Molten cheese. I don't know how, I'm curious how that works, because if that sits there for more than a minute, that, especially American cheese, is going to get coagulated really quick, which nobody wants to think about. But then over at Tiana's, which to me has one of the safest menus in the resort, like you're always going to be happy when you eat it at Tiana's. They have a sweet heat beignet chicken sandwich, which is beignets. So it's kind of like the whole when they do the donuts chicken sandwich. So it's kind of like that. Imagine that. So we have all of these things that are coming out in 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is, 2 days. Would you prefer this or that? Sweet heat beignet chicken sandwich or the Big Dipper cheeseburger.
The cheeseburger.
Really?
I'd have to split it with somebody.
Well, it's already cut in half. So
I know,
it'd be easy.
exactly.
Yeah.
But the Big Dipper cheeseburger for sure, with a side of those chili cheese fries.
I was gonna say they also have chili cheese fries there, which I could not put for this or that because I knew that was just done game over. Although it does have peppers and stuff on it that I'm sure you're gonna ask for them to be removed
if I can. I will say I don't love a sweet and savory combo. I don't love chicken and waffles. I don't love donut sandwiches. It's just not really my vibe. I like them separately. I don't want them together. If you handed me these beignets with the chicken, I'd say cool, and I would take the beignets off and I would eat the beignets and then I'd eat the chicken.
I'd eat the chicken and then the beignets because
okay,
dessert,
I knew you were gonna get into semantics on that one.
No, you might eat dessert first. That's fine.
Anywho, I'm for sure going for the cheeseburger.
There you go. Okay. I would go for the cheeseburger as well, mainly because I don't do sweet super well, and I think that's just too much sugar for me with the sweet heat beignet chicken sandwich. I think if it was a regular chicken sandwich, everything else about it would make it my first choice.
Sure.
Other than the beignets. Like if they had, what's the toast? Like
Texas toast?
Yeah, like a
like
Texas toast
Cane's?
or something. Yeah, kind of like that. Like if they had something more that direction, I think I would be like, oh, let's have, or even biscuits. Biscuits would be good.
We've been eating Cane's. We've had Cane's.
Biscuits is what I want. That's what I would prefer, is having biscuits on there. But that's one I would choose. Okay, finally, Disney and positive stuff. We have rebranded Daps Magic the podcast to Disney and positive stuff.
Daps Magic the negative.
Exactly. With that, we have also refocused what it is and where it's going to go and why it's going there. And so it's gotten into the basics of what Daps is about, the foundations of what Daps is about, the core values, all of that stuff. There is a podcast up that is specifically called Disney and Positive Stuff. You can find it on anywhere you watch podcasts or listen to them, I guess, in this case. And it really does give a good definition of what we're doing beyond just, hey, this is Disney and positive stuff, and we like to make people smile. So if you're interested in all of that, check it out. I think it's worth your time. You've listened to it. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong there, but
I actually rate the podcast based on how many times my name comes up, and my name came up twice in this podcast, so it's a pretty high ranking, actually.
So how about for real?
No, I actually thought it was really great. I think it is an excellent refocusing on the importance of what we do at Daps Magic, and really like stating who we are and what we do. It's actually been something I've been thinking about a lot, like a lot of the things you said, a lot of the way you phrased different things or presented different ideas. And I will say, I am not forced as part of my job to listen to these podcasts. I also am, I think it's a glowing review that I listen to you talk pretty much all day, every day. And it's like my favorite thing. And then I go, oh, the time I'm not with you, what if I listened to you talk on a podcast? But no, I thought it was great. And obviously I'm Mr. Daps' #1 fan, but I think it's awesome. So I think I felt like a consumer.
How about the short answer? So yes, listen to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Never mind.
I'm glad you felt like a consumer in that moment.
No, that was as a consumer, comma, starting a sentence.
Oh, okay. Do you want to finish it?
No, not particularly anymore.
Okay. I will say one thing we're doing differently with this version of the podcast is there are rough notes, but there is no script. There's no firm outline, I guess you could say. Like, it's more just ideas that we run with, and really we'll be trying to make this as much like a conversation as we possibly can. And you'll get to hear whatever comes up. It'll be interesting in the future. All right. It is time for one of our favorite parts of the show, and that is comments.
Comments!
Click. It is time for comments, and this is where we will go in and respond to any comments that you would like us to respond to. Isn't that shocking how this works?
I know.
It's amazing. All right, so first question we have, real question. which hotel would you want to see covered in snow?
Tokyo Disneyland Hotel.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's so pretty. It's a really pretty hotel.
It really is. That one, or for me, I really like Newport at Disneyland Paris.
Okay.
Like that one would be pretty, but I think it'd be very hard for me to beat the Disneyland Hotel in Paris. Which I have seen pictures of before, and it just looks beautiful. And I think that would probably be the one I would choose. I don't think I would choose. I mean, like even seeing the Grand here, if you imagine that covered with snow, that would be very pretty.
That'd be
it would kind of give that. I think I saw Fort Wilderness, and yeah, there it is, Fort Wilderness in the comments, and it would kind of give that vibe, which I think would be really pretty, and remind you of being in the
she's going to help
national parks.
She's going to help me respond to comments.
There you go. Yeah, I think that's what I would choose.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, let us know in the comments if you liked this or that. Normally, it's just one segment, but I thought tonight we would just carry it through the whole show and do something different than we normally do, just to mix things up a little bit. But yeah, looks like that's the one question. So, what should people do, Katie?
Well, first of all, oh God, you should go to dapsmagic.com. You should check out all the Disney and positive stuff as it happens. You should, Tiana said, subscribe to our mailing list so you don't miss any of it. And then what else? Daps Magic HQ. Go to Daps or patreon.com/Daps Magic. Join us for Daps HQ. Join us for Daps After Dark, which is the post show for this show, which is crazy fun. Right, Tiana? She said yes.
She doesn't care. And it'll be on in just a few minutes. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. We got to 100,000. Thank you very much. Next step's 1 million, which is a little bit more daunting, but then we will get the next play button plaque thing that's on the way. But that is all the time we have for you this week, so we will see you around the corner.
Bye.